Triangulation is a psychological and interpersonal phenomenon that plays a significant role in shaping human relationships and communication. Though it can occur in various social settings, triangulation is most commonly explored within family dynamics, romantic relationships, and abusive interpersonal contexts. At its core, triangulation involves the insertion of a third party into a two-person relationship to manipulate, control, or shift the balance of power. This essay explores the psychological mechanisms behind triangulation, its manifestation in different relational contexts, and the consequences it has on emotional well-being and interpersonal dynamics. Triangulation, in psychological terms, refers to a situation in which one person uses a third party to communicate with or influence another person indirectly, rather than addressing them directly. This often leads to confusion, miscommunication, and emotional manipulation. The term is widely associated with family systems theory, introduced by psychiatrist Murray Bowen, who observed that when tension arises between two individuals, they may bring in a third party to reduce anxiety or stabilize the relationship. Triangulation can serve both adaptive and maladaptive functions. In its healthier forms, it may temporarily reduce emotional tension or facilitate communication. However, in its more toxic forms, often seen in narcissistic or abusive dynamics, it becomes a tool of psychological manipulation, control, and emotional destabilization. From a psychoanalytic perspective, triangulation can be traced back to the Oedipal complex, where a child's desire for the opposite-sex parent and rivalry with the same-sex parent creates a triadic tension. However, contemporary psychology focuses more on how triangulation operates in real-life interactions and emotional regulation. Murray Bowen's family systems theory posits that triangulation emerges as a natural response to emotional anxiety in relationships. When two family members are in conflict or emotional distress, they may triangle in her third member, often a child or another family member, to create a stabilizing effect. While this may alleviate tension temporarily, it often prevents the dyad from resolving their issues directly, leading to chronic dysfunction. In family dynamics, triangulation can be especially harmful when a parent uses a child as a confidant or mediator in disputes with the other parent. This places undue psychological pressure on the child and blurs appropriate boundaries. For example, a parent might share inappropriate details about a divorce with a child or attempt to alienate the child from the other parent. This creates loyalty conflicts, emotional insecurity, and confusion in the child, who is forced into an adult role. Triangulation can also manifest in sibling relationships, where one child is favored or pitted against the other to serve a parent's need for control or validation. This can result in long-term rivalry, self-esteem issues, and distorted perceptions of relationships. One of the most psychologically damaging forms of triangulation occurs in relationships involving narcissistic individuals. Narcissists often use triangulation as a strategy to maintain power and control over others. This may involve comparisons, constantly comparing one person to another to provoke jealousy or competition. Gaslighting via a third party, telling the target that others agree with the narcissist's distorted views. Love triangles, flirting with or referencing a third person to make the partner feel insecure or disposable. In these scenarios, triangulation is used not to relieve tension, but to create it, destabilizing the target's sense of reality and self-worth. Victims of narcissistic triangulation often feel isolated, hypervigilant, and emotionally dependent on the abuser for validation. The psychological impact of triangulation is significant and often long-lasting. It includes emotional dysregulation. Victims may struggle with confusion, anxiety, and chronic stress due to inconsistent or conflicting messages. Low self-esteem, constant comparison, or manipulation can erode an individual's confidence and self-concept. Distrust in relationships. Triangulation can damage the ability to trust others, as it often involves betrayal or manipulation by someone close. Codependency. individuals who grow up in triangulated environments may develop codependent tendencies, seeking validation or approval at the expense of their own needs. Breaking free from triangulation requires self-awareness, healthy boundaries, and often therapeutic intervention. Strategies include direct communication, encouraging open, one-on-one conversations to resolve issues rather than involving third parties. Boundary setting, recognizing inappropriate dynamics and refusing to play the role of the middleman. Therapy, family therapy or individual counseling can help identify patterns and build healthier ways of relating. Empowerment, helping individuals build self-worth and emotional autonomy to resist manipulative tactics. Triangulation is a powerful psychological dynamic that can shape, and often distort, interpersonal relationships. While it may sometimes arise from a desire to reduce conflict, its manipulative forms are deeply harmful, especially in family and abusive relationships. Understanding the mechanisms and consequences of triangulation is crucial for healing, personal growth, and the development of healthy relational patterns. Awareness, communication, and boundaries form the foundation of breaking free from its grasp and restoring emotional balance.